But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Brooks perform. I like seeing him play good golf. I love seeing athletes get into the heads of their competitors while they're out there, and he brings that to the table. I always laugh hearing about him wearing large shirts with medium sleeves. So
Yeah.
something that always sticks in my brain. Some weather up here in North Texas, so if I get swept away by a tornado while this broadcast is going on, you know what happened. So while we were chatting, we had a comment that I'm going to bring up here on the screen saying Brooks looks good today. Um, will it prep for the Masters? So he did win out on the Live Tour. He looked pretty good all week. Made comments after the fact
Okay.
saying he's as healthy as he could be. So just a little bit of backstory and something that's been on my mind since the Netflix series Full Swing came out. There was an episode that really focused on Brooks and him being injured and kind of his path to defecting over to the Live Tour. And I
Yeah.
think that honestly has motivated him. I think with Brooks, the game is so ego driven. When he would show up and be at the top of leaderboards for
Right.
Masters, won those three majors in a short order, he gears up for this. And I think the competitor in him has really started to come back up. The mentions, which he still hasn't knocked down about him considering returning to the PGA Tour. He did look good. I caught a little bit of the live coverage, particularly on Friday as I was just kind of sitting around. I was able to catch some of the coverage. Again, this was on a course that we don't know. He looked like he had the game. And I've always been a fan of Brooks, whether it's just because he's
Yep.
a Nike guy. I've always liked his approach to and kind of think that and we talked about Cam because he's newer to the Live Tour. How do you think Brooks will translate, and do you see this as a uh, something that can get him in contention, seeing how his game is coming back around and he looks healthy?
Yeah, it's and just like what you said, it's funny that Brooks' name came up because ever since Full Swing came out, like he played at the heartstrings a little bit. I can't compete with these guys, and what am I supposed to do? And then he had his fiance on there, kind of defending him, like he's just a big ego guy. He's at the confidence forever, like he doesn't know what to do when he's losing. So I mean, I get it. You kind of feel lost at sea or whatever, and hopefully he gets back healthy. But I know one thing's for sure. If he goes back to the PGA, I definitely would like him a lot more than him over there with them boys over there. So, uh, I mean, good
Well, I
luck
think
to
that's
him.
such a long shot. Yeah,
Right.
I
The
know.
money's
I
too
know.
good over
We
there.
it is too good, and I think the penalties for them coming back from some of these contracts have had the details released through court filings and other things. Some of them have
Right.
not, so we don't know all the particulars. But some have been noted as if they leave the tour prior to the end of their contract, that they are due three times or two times what they were paid on their sign-on bonus or that early payment. So I don't know what his final number was, but let's just say it was 50 mil on the low end, right? Because I know there's
Yeah.
100 meals out there, 150 meals, but let's say it's 50. If he had to pay back 150 mil, that's just not something that's doable versus saying, you know what, I'm just going to have to wait it out,
Yep.
play the majors that I can based on his, previous champion status, which I think lasts for 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, outside of the tournament that you won directly. So yeah, that's a steep penalty, whether it's 100 mil, 150
Yeah.
mil, a lot to pay back just to have
Right.
freedom versus just kind of waiting it out for a few years until your
Yeah.
contract's up. But
Agreed.
yeah, I mean we all have that kind of if you've watched us for a little bit or watched any of my previous videos, Live I'm not a fan of. I don't love the business model. I think they're going against everything that they've said they were doing to do. Initially, it was about freedom, and then they've turned into employees from a player's perspective. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Brooks perform. I like seeing him play good golf. I love seeing athletes get into the heads of their competitors while they're out there, and he brings that to the table. I always laugh hearing about him wearing large shirts with medium sleeves. So
Yeah.
something that always sticks in my brain.